Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on September the 13th, 2019. Japan's export drops at the fastest pace in August. Japanese export fell at the fastest pace in more than 3 years in August, a Reuters poll showed on Friday, indicating increasing pressure on shipments as the economy is being affected by the U.S China trade war and slower global growth. Meanwhile, Japan's core consumer inflation also slipped, marking the lowest level in more than 2 years, largely thanks to weaker energy prices. According to expectations, exports in August will show a 10.9% drop from a year earlier, which would be the biggest reduction since 14% in July 2016, and a far sharper one than July's 1.5% drop. Along with that, an August contraction would also extend the streak of declines that began in December to a ninth month. The poll also forecast that imports would decline 11.2% in August from a year earlier, likely indicating the trade deficit rose to 355.9 billion yen, $3.29 billion, from a revised 250.7 billion yen deficit in previous month. EU considers new energy taxes to reduce emissions. The European Union is considering new energy taxes to meet its climate targets, top officials said on Friday. Meantime, Germany calling for drastic steps to reduce carbon emissions. In the last decade, EU countries have led the global shift toward renewable energy and set up the world's largest emissions trading system to price carbon and reduce reliance on more polluting fuels. At the same time, the bloc's rules on energy taxation have not changed for more than 15 years. During the meeting in Helsinki on Friday, German Finance Minister Olaf Scholz said drastic steps were needed to counter climate change and urged an international approach on the matter. Possible measures will include higher minimum tax rates on energy, fossil fuel levies, and the end of waivers for the air and sea transport sectors. Ambitious targets for reducing carbon emission by at least 50% by 2030 are part of the agenda of the new European Commission, which will take office in November. Shares rise on trade progress and ECB stimulus. Asian shares increased on Friday, marking the highest level in 6 weeks and signs of progress in U.S China trade talks. And aggressive stimulus from the European Central Bank helped to ease fears of a global economic slowdown. MSCI's Broadest Index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan rose 0.5%, to highest since August the 1st, while Japan's benchmark Nikkei added more than 1% to 4-month highs. Markets in mainland China and South Korea were closed for public holidays. European stocks also showed some increase, with Pan-region Eurostoxx 50 futures climbed 0.1%. Germany's DAX futures advanced 0.1%, and London's FTSE futures were up 0.2%. The U.S S&P 500 climbing 0.29% to 3,009.57, closed near its all-time closing high of 3,024.50, marked in late July. Cloudflare increases shares target to raise $525 million. San Francisco-based company that helps websites protect and distribute content, Cloudflare Inc., priced in shares above a target to raise $525 million. Cloudflare sold 35 million shares on Thursday for $15 each, as written in a company's statement. On Wednesday, the company had increased its target for the shares to $12 to $14, after earlier marketing them for $10 to $12. Cloudflare is valued in the listing at $4.4 billion based on the shares listed as outstanding in its filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.